Well, we're here at I Love Gay at Home with Chris Brown from Chaleur Creative. And Chris, tell us a little bit about what you're up to here these days.
Sure. So as a company, we are focusing a lot on things that we can do in the digital realm for our clients. Right now, we're doing a couple things that are initiatives. Some are local and some are national. One of which is we're doing LGBT career fairs. So we are doing career fairs throughout the country, specifically for LGBTQ folks and allies to be able to find positions at companies that are LGBT inclusive. In addition, we're also doing some restaurant support. So we're seeing a lot of things happening in the restaurant industry right now that are changing their business models from dine-in to takeout and delivery options. So as a company, especially in the digital marketing space, we're spending some time with folks there and supporting as much as we can.
Yeah. So the career fairs, those were already kind of planned before this pandemic happened. Yeah. And you kind of had to pivot to the world of virtual career fairs.
Absolutely. The LGBT career fairs, I've actually been doing them for just about 9 years,
Wow.
and we are expanding those to be nationwide now. So we have been doing them specifically in the Pacific Northwest, but we've seen a great need throughout the country to be able to connect LGBTQ folks with companies that have LGBT inclusive policies that value that individual, not only for their knowledge and skill, but also for their identity. So we wanted to make sure that we have as many folks engaged outside of the Pacific Northwest in what that looks like. And that means having conversations with community organizations, with companies, with individuals and job seekers in the areas that we want to be able to expand into. So with the LGBT career fairs, we saw obviously in the last 3 months or so that move from in-person to be something that's more virtual in nature. As a digital marketing company, Chaleur Creative, we try to make sure that we are making real connections with real people, no matter what that looks like. So whether that's in person, whether that's online, or whether we're doing external marketing or something to be able to engage with folks, we want to make sure that we're engaging appropriately and making those real connections with real people. So we have moved them to be some virtual, some we've moved to make the date a little bit more appropriate. So we had some that were scheduled just as the pandemic was coming on. And for those, because we didn't have enough ramp up time, we did move those dates out a little bit. But we do have other dates that we're keeping on the calendar for the end of May, the first part of May, the end of April. So we'll be able to convert all of those into virtual career fairs to support that social distancing aspect and to really engage with companies too, to make sure that they are maintaining a diverse pipeline of talent, especially as they're ramping up to potentially do some new hires. So,
Yeah. Hopefully this summer, the whole world of new hires and rehires will be a hot topic. Um, but
absolutely.
But switching over back to the second thing you talked about with the restaurants. So these restaurants local in Seattle, a lot of them struggling because almost every restaurant nationwide is closed. So you're helping them to kind of explore and develop and build out a new revenue stream, yeah, for those that really weren't equipped for this virtual world when it comes to takeout and online delivery and so forth.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a number of clients that are restaurants or hotels or things like that that we support. And in the restaurant industry, there's been a number of groups that have grown in the Pacific Northwest. One in particular, which is the Seattle Restaurant Support Group. There's a little bit over 7,000 people that are a part of that group now. And that involves restaurant workers, restaurant owners, and what we've been hearing from those that are open and those that could be opened later on is that they don't necessarily have the ability to be able to do online ordering. And there's a number of different things that tie into that, right? The ability to be able to have an online order that then has tips that go directly to your staff. rather than a third party. Some of the third-party apps are easy to use and easy to engage with, but they could be potentially more expensive than what you're used to. So what we want to do is make sure that we're building a platform that empowers those restaurants to be able to succeed with that new revenue stream without having to have any startup costs. So we are doing that work for free for those folks so that they don't have any startup costs. The hope would be that we can actually crowdsource to be able to cover the hard costs for that. So whether it's web hosting or a domain name, or maybe they need to do like, $20 to some sort of third-party app to integrate it, right? We'll pay those expenses. Chaleur Creative will pay those expenses. And we're hoping that the community will be able to give money back to be able to support what that looks like, so that at least we're at a cost zero across the board while empowering those restaurants to be able to have a new revenue stream.
Yeah. And you're a member of GSBA and NGLCC certified and the whole works, yeah?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. We're a member of the Greater Seattle Business Association, which is obviously probably the largest LGBTQ organization in the world for businesses, and it's based out of Seattle. They're a member of the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. And as a company, Chaleur Creative is a NGLCC certified small business enterprise as well. So we are certified through the NGLCC and members of the Greater Seattle Business Association as well. And we're active in some of the other business communities like the Latino Chamber of Commerce and some of the others in the area too, like the Seattle Chamber of Commerce.
Excellent. So as we wind down, and this sounds fantastic. So what do you do for fun, or how are you keeping yourself entertained during this downtime stuck at home?
Yeah, the fun and entertaining portion. My husband and I, we live in Seattle, and we have our dog Gus. So we take him out for walks, and then we are doing some virtual walks as well in places like Animal Crossing and playing some of the online games to be able to connect with folks.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, spending some time outside in the backyard and just relaxing out there. We're doing more movie nights, a lot of virtual happy hours with friends and hanging out with them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's kind
love
of
it.
what we're doing for fun for sure.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks so much for being here and sharing with us what you're up to in Seattle, and also what you're up to with these career fairs, especially like we said, because after this is over, there's going to be a huge rush for figuring out what everyone's going to do in the employment side. So, thanks so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again. Take care.